If the first game breaks no against you, don't let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, do the games after this win in. First year game, we're here for the first May. Can everybody give you that 6 minutes?
Just look around. You got the mountains, you got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Unbelievable place. Great university. Knoxville is unbelievable city, great people. The passion for football is even greater than I thought it would be. And man, you know, Neyland Stadium, I said it, you know, a couple of years ago, and I still think it's the best football experience for a college football fan or a player in the country.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top, down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top. Ain't no telephone bills.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. We fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? We fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air tonight.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Vols JP.
My name's Dustin Sellers.
And it's your boy X.
Everybody's like, who's this Dustin Sellers guy? Boys, it feels good. Dang it feels good to come in here after a W. Doesn't it feel freaking good? Can we just start with saying how good it feels to not play perfect football? It ain't gonna. I love the quote from Heupel. It ain't gonna be perfect. It ain't gotta be perfect. You go out, you take care of business, you come away with a dub. We're gonna get into this game, man. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna hang out with you guys all night long. I already see some super chats coming in. We're gonna get to those. But first, I want to talk to these guys here in the room. Get quick opinions right out of the gate. JP, how you feeling coming out of this win over South Carolina? Revenge. Let's call it what it is. It's revenge, and it feels good.
Oh, yeah. I'm certainly happy for it. You know, I mean, like you said, Boogie, it certainly wasn't perfect, but, Tennessee made the plays that they needed to. Certainly physical tonight. Got after the quarterback. Defense showed up. Offense made enough plays. Hey, anytime you can get an SEC win, you're going to take it. And, looked like it was a great atmosphere down there. So, I know that there's a lot of recruits in the house tonight, so maybe that will help with some of those. But great win. Of course, this team's got lots and lots of work to continue to do. But hey, one game at a time, right?
You're going into a bye week, right? And you got Texas A&M. Dang sure better off with a win coming out of this thing than being 0-2 in SEC play and then having Texas A&M come to town next week, Dustin. How much more optimism just does this give you going into the bye week? You got to like Josh Heupel coming off of a bye week to play Texas A&M, and just going into the back half of the schedule, you got to feel a little bit more confident than we were maybe a week or two ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as a whole, I think the team has, improved in different areas as we go along here. Some things still need a little work, but overall, a lot of positives to take out of this game. Run game was huge. Really leaned on that. I don't know how many times they actually threw the ball. It didn't seem like very much. But special teams was solid, and the pick six was huge. I mean, that might have been the biggest momentum swing of the game in the first half there. Other than, a couple of spots in the second half, I thought the play calling was pretty solid in the first half to kind of keep them on their toes a little bit. And X, I don't know if you were keeping up, but how many sacks do you think we got tonight?
Man, I want to say at least maybe like 6 or 7. I mean, it probably more than that. I mean, but it was definitely up there.
Yeah, they're blowing up that. I think it's the left side or the right side.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up with 6 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, but not, I mean, obviously that's great. That's a great day at the office, right? But they also, they just controlled the game. That was a key going into this thing, win the line of scrimmage. I thought they won the line of scrimmage really on both sides of the ball. We'll kind of get into that as we move through it. Offensive line play, Cooper May's back. Boy, he was sucking wind. Those Gamecocks kind of laying down, faking those injuries, and I think Cooper was kind of like, "Thanks, buddy. Let me get my win back."
Boogie in wrestling terms,
that's those for sure.
In wrestling terms, that's what we call blowed up, right?
That's right. He was He was definitely blowed up. He's like, "Brother, call a rest hold. Let me get my win back."
Right.
X, what are your overall thoughts, just top to bottom, on Tennessee's win tonight over South Carolina?
Man, just overall thoughts, man. A really, really good, solid win, man. I feel like that this team came out and they actually found their identity of who we are, and they actually stuck with the game plan. They actually ran the dang ball. They knew that, South Carolina's defensive line was really not all that, and they took advantage of that, dude. Like I said, the three-headed monster, you know what I'm saying? Dylan Simpson, Jalen Wright, Jabari Smalls. I mean, dude, those guys were eating tonight, man. I mean, those guys really played really well. As far as Joe, I mean, yeah, of course, we'll get into a little bit more of Joe, but he played solid tonight, man. I mean, of course, he had, those 2 interceptions, I mean, and I get it. He has, 3 overall, but he still played pretty good, despite the 2 interceptions. And as far as the defensive side of the ball, man, everybody just showed out, man. That defense, they really got after Spencer Rattler. There were times he kind of did slip out of the pocket, made some plays with his feet. That's something obviously that we got to clean up, a little later down the road. But overall, man, I mean, this team just really came and showed out. And then of course, that crowd down there was wild, played a big game plan for us. So like I said, because they got South Carolina, like I said, offsides a few times. But overall, man, just solid, good win. Definitely needed this win.
All right, we're going to get your all's comments. You guys have a bunch of super chats coming in. We got 993 people watching live right now. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up. That takes no time. We would appreciate it. If you want to do a little extra, hit that share button. You hit share, pops up all your social media accounts. Put it on Twitter, put it on Facebook. Let somebody know we're live. Let's grow this audience together. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome, man. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you guys. We talk with you guys. We're building the #1 community for Tennessee football right here on YouTube. That's the Talkin VAWLS Network. If it's your first time here, get in on this thing. Hit subscribe, hit that thumbs up, all that good YouTube stuff. Let me get some comments here from the chat. First of all, Bob becomes a member of the channel. Bob's got to be upgrading because Bob's been a member forever. He wasn't on the tailgate show. Missed you, Bob, but good to see you in the chat tonight. Craig Stewart also becomes a member. Guys, you want to be a part of the family, hit the join button down below. It's just a donation. It's basically saying, I like what you guys do. Here's $1 every month. You want to give more? You can. We do fan call-in shows. Look, that's where Dustin came from. That's where X came from. That's where Coach J came from. You come on those fan call-in shows. You win over this community. The next thing you know, Boogie's putting you to work at 11:30 on a Saturday night. But if not, That's cool, man. Just smash the thumbs up and hang out and talk some Tennessee football. Noah James for $20. You guys see the color of that super chat? It's orange. If you drop an orange, boy, man, oh, man, we're going to play this clip all night long.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Noah James says, GBO, man, it feels good, doesn't it? It's
Yes.
you know, I love to win, but it's the relief of not losing. So shout out, Noah, appreciate that, buddy. Jared Burton for 2, pour one out for Brew. Yep, obviously a big injury. Going to set this football team back. We'll see how they adjust. Chaz Nimrod made some plays tonight. He also made some mistakes, but he's a young cat. We'll see how he develops and moves on because we're going to have to lean on them. Brew's going to be out. He's done. He ain't coming back. That was nasty. Real Hank for 5. Keep Brew in your prayers, guys. Had to buy his jersey in smoky gray just to support him. Great win. Joe still has some cleaning up to do, though. GBO. Thank you, Hank, for that super chat. VFL Willie for 2. GBO defense stood up. D. Samp, that dude. And then he's dropping that Brew. Thank you, VFL Willie. Evan Counts for 2. Finally, a complete game. Close. We're going to get into it. We're going to be critical where we need to be critical, but we're celebrating the win right now. Little Spooky for 2 says, proud of Joe. Appreciate that super chat. Trey dropping an orange, boy. We'll do it again.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Trey for $20 says, good to see all 3 backs score. 3-headed monster for real. Warren killed it instead of Castles. Unsung hero Wes Walker. Huge stops in several occasions. Hadn't got a little revenge. Big O was clutch on 4th down. Little frowny face there for Brew. Yeah, that's an ongoing theme here, talking about Brew McCoy. Evan Counts for $20. We'll do it again.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Appreciate that, Evan. It truly fills my heart with joy in my eyes with tears to see Joe have the success he deserves. Love that guy and his family. We deserve this. Love y'all. Appreciate that, Evan. We got Landon for $20.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Appreciate that, Landon. He says revenge is always better in Neyland Stadium. GBO. You gotta like Heupel calling that time out there at the end. He's a prick. He can be a prick. He's a competitor, but he likes to rub salt in the wound. He called that time out so we could enjoy that moment inside of Neyland Stadium. I agree, Landon. Thank you for the super chat. James Lawson for $20. Here we go.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Appreciate that super chat. James Lawson says barbecue chicken, good. Thank you for that super chat, my man. Rolly Season, been a member for almost a year. Appreciate that support. Will Jones drops a pink, boy. That's a 50 spot. We'll play a different clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Will Jones for $50. That is not cheap. We appreciate that. Very generous donation. I thank every one of you guys that dropped donations. We're going to continue to read them throughout the night. Says, glad to see the defense get after the quarterback. Feels good. Drinks on me. Let's pause. We're gonna have a little bit of a conversation about the game. We will continue to read your super chats. If we got to stay live all night long, that's what we'll do. We will stay live as long as necessary to get all your feedback on this football game. JP mentioned the defensive line. What you think, man? They got after the quarterback. What were the numbers? 6 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. Let me run down the stats here. Omar Norman Lott had a half of a sack and a half of a TFL. James Pierce, what a dominant performance. 2 sacks, 2 TFLs. Omari Thomas, a sack and a TFL. Karat Garland cleaned up a mess. We talked about getting pressure off the edge, staying in your pass rushing lanes and cleaning things up. That's exactly what Karat Garland did on that play. Joseph's had a sack, but just – you got to call it dominant, right, from the defensive line? JP?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, they made Rattler uncomfortable, and I think that all of us was questioning and, wondering if Tennessee's defense could do that. So certainly, it was a great performance by that defensive line tonight for sure. They got after it, and the tackling was so much better too on defense. So much better tackling.
Yeah, there was a few missed, wrap ups and stuff. Still got to kind of clean that up a little bit, but just overall, man. I mean, the defense really got after Rattler, and like I said, sent just a bunch of bodies. That's what I'm saying. Just send the blitz, send a bunch of black and orange jerseys in his face, make him make mistakes, and of course he did. On the one play, he had the interception, and who would have thought Kamal Haddon came up with the pick 6 and scored it in for the touchdown. Never would have thought about it, but
I wouldn't have thought it either. X Factor for sure.
He was finally in the right place at the right time.
Yes, he was.
What was what did South Carolina end up on third downs, third and fourth
2
downs?
of 14.
Yeah, I
2 of
mean,
Huge.
14.
yeah. I mean, that's a ball game right there. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a
Yeah.
ball game.
And you knew they were going to go for it in fourth. It was nice to get pressure from, majority of the time it was just from the line. It wasn't any crazy exotic blitzes because they're talking about on the game how we didn't have that last year, and we're sending people from all over the places last year, and left the secondary kind of out to dry. So it's what we got dumped on last year. So it's nice to get that push from the front.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's
Yep.
what even the announcer said. It's just good just to have depth, man. That's what I'm saying. And you can tell that this team is just different depth wise because last season we were just sitting in the house and that leaves your backfield way open just for anybody to get picked off. So that was really our Achilles heel from last season. But now this season, I guess South Carolina realized they're like, okay, yeah, this ain't the same team that we faced last season.
Yeah,
I mean,
and they were
depth
running.
is- Go ahead,
Sorry,
Nelson.
Boogie. I was gonna say they were running them off. 6, 7, 8 at a time.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one or two subs. It was like the whole line, and then the whole
Whole
other
line.
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a beautiful thing, right? That's depth is a word that gets overused sometimes, right? It's like, oh, we need depth, we need depth, we need depth. We're seeing what depth can do, and it's not just the defensive line. Like we kind of saw Rodney Garner do that a lot last year, but now you're seeing linebackers. I know at one point, man, I looked on the field, and it might have even been a third down, and it was Caleb Perry and Arian Carter, and I'm like, sweet Jesus. I'm like typing in my notes, third down conversion coming up, and it's like, no, man, they're playing good football, and that's the thing when guys like Arian Carter and Elijah Herring, who's now a sophomore, and Caleb Perry as a sophomore, those guys getting those early season reps. That's why when we talk about games like Austin Peay and being frustrated because Tennessee didn't do what they should have done to get these guys more run, but it's not just the defensive line, man. It's the linebackers, even the corner position, man. You're looking out there at corner, you could see Gabe Judy-Lally, you could see Kamal Haddon, you could see some of these other guys out there playing the corner spot, and I know a lot of people get mad. I'm laughing at. I'll go ahead and hit Rick's super chat just because it's funny. Rick's for 2. Now Boogie has the App State and the Salty Dog Cup. Yeah, I changed cups the other day when you called me out. Old Salty Dog is back out to celebrate tonight. Thank you, Riggs, for the $2. It's just nice to see, JP, and if you're going to close the talent gap and you're going to go beat teams like Georgia or Alabama, and yeah, we beat them last year, but if you're going to compete with them on a yearly basis, that's how you do it. Recruiting and depth. You used to preach it on the channel when I was on here as a sucker saying, well, no, we just need more time and patience. You're like, Boogie, if you don't have the Jimmies and Joes, you're never going to be able to compete. It's so crucial, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it in year 3 already.
Yeah, and one of the big differences with the defense, like Pierce is, just speed. I mean, just that athleticism, just the ability to, not be the biggest guy, but just so quick and fast. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but on that. I can't remember if it was a third or fourth down, but he absolutely destroyed that right tackle. I mean he bull rushed that guy, which was kind of surprising, but with that. But yeah, I mean it's good to see those young kids out there playing. That's only going to make his team better. And unfortunately, with the injuries that are starting to pile up and stuff, it's going to there's going to have to be more of them out there.
A lot of people talking about Brew. They were talking about him earlier, out for the season. I think he's done. And here we are sitting, what, 4 games into the season?
Yeah.
Is there any way he could get a medical red shirt? I mean, I know his career has been very complicated. What was he? Texas, USC, Texas, back to USC, got in trouble off the field, transfers to Tennessee. Is that even on the table? Obviously, it would have to be some type of deal with the NCAA.
Yeah.
Well, and then it kind of bleeds into this too, man. Like I know that everybody has a weird feeling about NIL and all this stuff, but listen, that tonight, like I said, was a kind of an example of why NIL. I'm glad that it's here because when you see stuff like that happen, and of course I don't know, what Brew's NIL deal is or all that, but I mean, if it can cover for them medically when they do get hurt, like that's a really good reason why I believe that these players need to be getting paid. you know, because I mean, yeah, they're going on a full year ride scholarship. I mean, that's cool and dandy, but like, what is it going to cover, like medical wise and all that, you know? So, but like, and like I said, all my thoughts and prayers are with Brew and his family and everything, because yeah, that was nasty, man. I hate to see a player like that go down,
He
especially.
has.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, finish your statement.
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, like I just hate to see that, and man, he's a ball for life. Seriously, he gives his all for Tennessee every single night, and I just hope and pray that he'll be all right.
He has to have another year because he played in 2020. I guess 2021 was when he was suspended, right? And then he came to Tennessee in 2022, and then 2023. But like somebody said, hey Boogie, this is 5 games, not 4. I would imagine he could get a medical red shirt. He's a senior. He's not used a red shirt.
Right.
Isn't don't everybody have that COVID year if they want it? Like
That's 2020, so he
like
should have the COVID
Casey
year.
was saying there. I mean,
Yeah, I would
and of
think
course
he
you
can
know,
come back.
yeah. I mean, I'd say that he probably can, but you know, who knows what he's going to do with that? I mean, I definitely feel like that he's out for the year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
it
yeah.
was Alvin Mack-esque from the program. It was
yeah,
bad.
it's
It was bad.
nasty.
Let me
Yeah.
say this. We got 1,132 people watching live right now. JP, what do you like to do around here? What do you like to? I already have to do it on Wednesday. Everybody's asking who won it. I'll let you guys know Wednesday night. What do you like to do around here, JP?
Give away merchandise, Boogie.
Yeah. He likes to take money out of my pocket and put
That's
it into
right.
yours. We've got 1,140 people watching live. If we get to 1,500 people, I'll give away, screw it, 2 free T-shirts. 2 free T-shirts if we get to 1,500 people watching live. So what you guys have to do is hit the share button down below. Put this thing on Twitter, Facebook. Let somebody know we're live. We get to 1,500 live viewers, we'll give away a free T-shirt. Let me jam some Super Chats. You guys being very generous, dropping a lot of comments. Dakota for 5. Dorfy, this team played good tonight, and I think Joe played good as well. Just wish Coach would have kicked the field goal after the timeout. Thank you, Dakota, for the 5. Rolly season for 5. Milton throws 2 picks. Unacceptable. The sky is falling. Put in Nico. Laugh out loud. I'm just kidding. GBFO. We looking better, boys. We'll talk about Joe coming up here in just a little bit. Adam Huckabee for 2. Defense took a big step forward. Good to have Coop. Yeah, Coop being back, but I still didn't think the tempo was as fast as it was at the beginning of the UTSA game. I still don't think it's there. And I understand the second half, they're taking their foot off the gas. They're trying to chew clock. I understand that. Chris becomes a member of the channel. Also, Daniel Lowry becomes a member of the channel. Guys, I appreciate that support. Hit the join button down below. You guys are what gives me the opportunity to do this thing. I'll be waking up first thing in the morning, making a video. We'll come back tomorrow night, fan call-in show. Monday morning with Eric Kane at VolQuest.com. That show is not possible without you guys that are members of the channel. That would not be happening. Every Friday morning with Coach Jay would not be happening. Could not do it without you, so I'm grateful for every single member. So thank you to both of you guys for that. Riggs for 2. Offensive line looked way better with Mays. I do agree with that. The tempo's just still off for me. Rolly season for 2. Way to choke that chicken, boys. What a way to spend $2. Big Orange Mountain for $20. That's orange. We like orange, so when we play orange, when you get an orange boy, we play this clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
You guys see when Beamer pooped his pants second quarter. Not sure if true, but let's start the rumor. But you heard it here first. Breaking news. Right, the way you get. Imagine. I love you, Big Orange Mountain. Spending $20 to get that point across. Go ahead and somebody screen capture this, and you can put breaking news on the Talkin VAWLS network. Appreciate that. $20 is very generous, my man. GBO takeover for 10. I am Max the Cool, 123 from the NCAA stream, and I told y'all Haddon was going to have a great game. Pick 6. That, like Dustin said earlier, that was a momentum changer for the game. J-Vol 89 for 5. How do y'all want your chicken tonight? Fried, grilled, or boiled? You always got to go fried, right? Does anybody really want boiled chicken? Who boil? That's like boiling hot dogs. Like, what's wrong with you? You're a serial killer if you boil chicken. How about that? Clip that and put it on the internet. VFL Willie for 2. We owe Haddon an apology. VFL Logan for 2. Joe played great. Mistakes were not bad decisions. Culberson for 5. Coop makes such a difference. You could hear it in Joe's voice. Maybe that does calm Joe down a little bit. Negaval for 2. Close on my score prediction. How about that pick 6? Crawdad Watson for 2. Glad Shane Beamer got, and that's all I can say. Maybe he did crap himself. I have no idea what's going on. Benjamin Kyle for 5. Looks like we got us a little home winning streak going. Does anybody know the last time we lost at home? They didn't lose at home all last year, did they?
I don't think we did.
Was it Georgia 21?
Year before, yeah.
Probably.
Year before.
Yeah, year 1 of Josh Heupel. Wow. That's a difference maker for Neyland Stadium. Maybe that's
Or it
why
might have been Ole
Vegas.
Miss. Well, that'd be the latest one, I guess. Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Been a long time if we can't remember when it was. Evan counts for 2. We now control our own destiny. Florida will lose again. That's that's what I was thinking going into the game. There's no way Florida doesn't lose again. Dan Yoder for 20. That's orange. We'll do it.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Appreciate that, brother. I love those orange super chats. Keep them coming. Dan Yoder says lots of push from the coop up front. Me very happy. We're all happy. We're all celebrating. Robbie S. becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, brother. Joey E. for $20. We'll do it again.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Hats off for playing all 4 quarters. The greatest fans on earth for bringing it. That's what we do. The environment, man, I'm curious, and it's hard because I'm going through the super chats. If anybody in the actual chat was at the game, sounded electric on TV, looked amazing. It looked like an electric environment to me. A lot of pre-snap penalties, too, that we talked about going into this one. Seth Brooks for 5. GBO, good to get a win. Let's build on this. Brew, gosh, that hurts. He's a VFL. Let's get Jimbo next. Michael Davis been a member for almost a year. GBO shared the live on my Facebook. Great win tonight. Defense was awesome. Appreciate that, brother. Clayton Gilbert for 2. How about them balls? Let's get healthy this week. Yeah, definitely part of the bye week. Alex Gibson for a 20 spot. Man, I almost screwed myself by doing this. I have to play the clip. I'm going to play the clip. I like playing the clip. I'm going to laugh with Desmond Howard as this one plays.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Is that annoying? Like, is anybody annoyed by that, or do y'all love it? Because I love it every time. Alex says, huge win tonight. Looked great on both sides of the ball. Milton looked solid. The running back stable was unreal. Just overall huge. Play the clip. Alex likes the clip. That's why he dropped an orange boy. Appreciate it, brother. Fido for 2. Kentucky laying the smackdown today mean anything? That means they beat a terrible Florida team, and that's concerning that Tennessee lost to that Florida team. Fish and Beans for 20. Here you go.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
I'm not tired of that yet. Boogie, I said 42-21. Remember, I don't remember, but I'm going to go back to that live stream, and I'm going to scan the chat, not the chat, but the comments, and I will announce the winner of that free T-shirt coming up on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So make sure you guys are here for that. Thank you, Fish and Beans, for the super chat. Noah James for 5. What about is it Leggett? Only heard his name twice. Yeah, and one was a terrible fake punt. But it's, the pressure, man. It comes back to that defensive line. Fido for 2 says GBFO. Elijah Moore for 5. Wish we could have seen Nico late. So sad for Brew as well. Michael Banks for 2. JP looks very unhappy. I told him he had to pretend to be happy until we got at least 30 minutes into the stream. So it's almost time to unleash JP. Cody Branch for 5 says, for JP, revenge feels so good. You guys love JP until he starts talking here and I let him free. Daniel Skelton for 5. Man, I'm just glad to see our defense get it together. Jeff Puckett for 5. Looks like Chase Tidwell won the free T-shirt. He had Tennessee 42, South Carolina 21. Let me make a note of that just so that will save me all the time in the world if I know who possibly won. Chase Tidwell. I'm such a professional. Possibly. All right, that'll make my life easier. I can go check that. Cody Branch becomes a member of the channel. What are you doing, Cody? Cody's an OG. Appreciate that, brother. James for 5. Is it a wild take to say James Pierce is our best player on both sides of the ball? He's been absolutely incredible.
He's a monster. He's going to be good.
Maker. Yeah. Difference maker for sure. Andrew Short for 5, despite 2 picks. Love Milton's confidence. Offense looked totally different with Cooper. He's what's been missing. Defense really stepped up. GBO. Justin Denton for 20. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
I called the exact number of Milton passes at 21 and Wright with 15 carries. He had 16, had 38-17 as my final, with Warren getting a touchdown. Look, we still have a ton of super chats. You guys are being very generous. I am very grateful for that. I appreciate that, and I'm going to read everyone all night long if that's what we have to do. But I want to also kind of go back and forth, continue the conversation here. Let's talk about Joe Milton, because that's the elephant in the room. That's who we judge and criticize every week. Dustin, what are your thoughts overall? Hey, we're 30 minutes in. You guys can let loose, and if you want to criticize, be critical. That's what we're going to do. Look, we're all happy. Don't get it twisted that nobody on this panel is mad. We're all happy with the win. But what'd you think of how Joe played? You can go into play calling, just overall quarterback play.
I mean, call me crazy, but I think it's probably his best game he's played all year, even with the 2 picks. I don't think the receivers helped him out in a couple of situations. Castles dropped 2 little puppy passes to the side that probably would have gone far. But overall, yeah, I think he felt a little bit more comfortable. Maybe that had something to do with Cooper coming back. Um, but overall, I thought maybe the play calling was a little bit conservative when they got on the lead a little bit. And again, like I said when we started the show, like I don't remember him throwing it all that much. The two two interceptions, I thought one was definitely on him, the one in the first quarter. The second one, I thought he just kind of maybe undercut it a little or underthrew it a little bit, which is, we never say that, but I think he underthrew it just a tad. But also, I thought Warren should have fought a little harder for that ball to rip it out of there. And then if he doesn't get it, nobody gets it, kind of thing. But he didn't bother me this game, honest with you. Obviously, at those times, those turnovers are huge. We actually lost the turnover battle, I guess, right? But overall, I thought, he felt like he had a good head on his shoulders for most of the game. Obviously, he was a little inhibited with the knee thing. You can tell there's a couple of times he started to run that was like, nope. But overall, I can't bash the guy too much tonight.
I tell you, one thing that did drive me absolutely nuts was when he got the free play, they jumped off sides.
Yes.
And he's looking, and
Throw it,
nobody's
throw it,
there.
Joe.
And he just chuck it deep, bro.
Yeah,
but then on top of that, he rolls out, and it's like, you got a first down. All you got to do
And
is
he
walk to
slides.
it.
Yeah.
And somebody slapped his ankle. He got scared, and he slid. That. But I'm with Dustin. My first instinct is, bro, throw it deep. Like, who cares? Chuck it up in the air. I'm gonna save JP for last. X, what were your thoughts on Joe Milton tonight?
Yeah, I'm right there with Dustin, man. If I was to give Joe a letter grade, I give him an A. Like I said, it wasn't like an A plus because, like I said, it wasn't perfect. Because, like what you just said, Boogie. Yeah, man, you got a free play, man. Just chuck it deep, man. Like I said, you're still going to get yardages. Just chuck it deep. Try to get a touchdown. Do something because we know you got the arm to do it. But I mean, and then there were still a few reads that I feel like that he should have escaped the pocket because, yeah, he did get sacked. And I'm just like, Joe, man, like you still got to roll out, try to escape that pocket, man. Because like I said, if you're making reads downfield, and I feel like too, like he kind of, because like my buddy was telling me about it when we were, at Wild Wings, like he was saying, like he kind of just stands in the pocket. And like sometimes he just stares just downfield, just hoping that somebody's open. And I'm just like, Joe, like sometimes you gotta read multiple reads, you know what I'm saying, as the play is going. So, but I mean, overall, yeah, I can't be mad at the guy, man. Like I said, his numbers look pretty good other than the two interceptions. So I'm really not mad at Joe at all. Like I said, just solid performance all around. And like I said, we got the dub, so that's the very most important part. And he came out, injury free. So
Yeah, and I'll say this real quick, and I'll toss it up to JP. But he had a lot of time to stand up back there in a lot of cases, a lot more than I've noticed this year.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
how much is that? Is that Cooper Mace? Honestly,
Right. Yeah.
And that's, we talked about lack of depth on the offensive line, but you get Gerald Mincey back after his bonehead decision before the Florida game, and you get Coop back. And then shifting Ollie Lane to left guard was interesting to me. Not really a surprise, I guess, based on conversations I've had. JB, do you want to talk about Joe first, or do you want me to? I don't know who's going to be more of a critical. You go for it. Go ahead.
I mean, like we've said, Joe is who he is. I mean, he is who he is. 6-year player. He still makes those head scratching decisions sometimes, or that really. The worst throw, obviously, was the pick in the first quarter. He had Squirrel wide open for a first down, and just totally just misread that one and threw it in a place that he shouldn't. I agree with Dustin on the second pick. I thought that Warren could have battled for that one a little bit more to try to help out there with that one. With that, and then Boogie, like you said, I was just scratching my head when he slides on the free play instead of at least trying to get the first down. So those are the things. I mean, I guess what I'm gonna say is that performance by Joe Milton tonight, is it going to be good enough to beat Texas A&M, Kentucky, obviously Alabama, Georgia? Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Joe's final line for the night was 21 of 32, 239, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. All obviously very limited in the run game. Kind of expected that with the knee, and comes out with the knee brace and everything. Like I think it is what it is. Like I think what JP said and what I see a lot of people in the chat saying, Joe is who he is. Joe's never going to be Hendon. And the unfortunate thing is that it kind of came up a little bit. I think it may have been the fan call-in show or just throughout the week. Like we had horrendous quarterback play for so long at the University of Tennessee. And then all of a sudden we stumble across Hendon Hooker and holy smokes, we see what this offense can be. And again, he's gone. He's never coming back to Tennessee. He's not going to play at Tennessee. But if you had an elite quarterback, I don't know, if you had maybe the number 1 quarterback in the country, the number 1 rank, maybe like a 5-star, like generational type quarterback, maybe if you had that type of guy on your team, how good could this football team be? You get that defensive effort from tonight, and you know, you look, what South Carolina ended up with. They scored 20 points. 7 of that came on a short field because of the first interception that Joe threw, right? He put your defense in a horrible situation, and they went right down the field and scored. 7 more points came because as good as Wesley Walker played, he played great football. He took a horrible angle on that play. Elijah Herring didn't fill his gap on that play. Just a couple of guys that didn't do their job, and that's what we've seen throughout the year. Everybody's got to do their job, and then, you know, that's 14 points right there. But Joe Milton, you're 37 years old, bro. You don't throw to the center of the field and cover 3. And like the announcers are drawing it up, and it's like Joe has to be able to see that. He has to be able to see cover 3. I didn't even know Squirrel White was open. I'm just pissed because I think it's flashbacks to me playing NCAA. It's like, oh, they're cover 3, and I throw it to the middle of the field for an interception. It's like you got to be better than that. And then the pick to Warren, I agree. Warren didn't really fight for the ball, but if you could throw a 50-50 ball to anybody on this football team, who's the last person that you're going to throw a 50-50 ball to? Jacob Warren. And I want to watch the replay because how much room was in the end zone? Because there was nobody back there. If he leads him a little bit more for a touchdown, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think Joe played awful. Of course, everybody's going to talk about the 2 interceptions. I just think Joe's never going to carry this team, but maybe he doesn't have to. Because if the defense plays like they played tonight, if the offensive line blocks like they blocked tonight, and you run the football the way they ran the football, you can win some football games. You can go 9-3. You can go, well, now 10-2 is going to be very difficult after the loss to Florida. But it almost feels like we're trying to survive until 2024 when maybe that quarterback shows up on this roster. I don't know.
And maybe too, but like you just said, I mean, maybe do you think the offense? So it's weird, right? Because like last year we had our offense carry us through so many games because our defense, we didn't have depth like we do now.
Right.
But now with this year, we do have depth on defense, but our offense kind of lacks of what we had last season. So I think the roles have been reversed. So we rely heavy on our defense this year, and our offense is kind of so it's. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
And that's okay. Play complementary football, right? That's what it takes. You got to play offense, defense, special teams. But it's like I agree with what you're saying. It seems to me, and then that's why we saw in the second half they stopped the tempo. They were going extremely slow because they're just trying to chew the clock and get out of there. Whereas previously, like they would have been taking shots, man, and trying to run South Carolina out of the building. And it doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it does not matter. Just go win. Just go win the football game, and that's it. I always like to tune in. This is a quick plug for them, I guess, to A to Z Sports at halftime because they do a halftime show, and they've got Crompton on there. And I like to hear what Crompton has to say. And I think it was Charlie that was on with him, and Charlie's like, well, what do you want to see in the second half? Who's going to do this? He's like, I don't care. Just win. I don't freaking care what happens. Just go finish the game. Bacon Bits says, for $2, thank you for the super chat. You mean Nico Boogie? I didn't say that. Is that what I said? Is Nico who I was talking about? I don't know. I'm not calling to bench Joe Milton. We got the dub. We're celebrating, but Joe is going to be Joe. Trey's been a member for 13 months. Appreciate that. The team carried Joe tonight. Joe is an average SEC quarterback. We know who he is. Forced the ball to Warren on that pick. We are going to be disappointed if it comes down to Joe a lot this year. Thank you, Trey, for all the support as being a member. Let me jam some super chats. You guys know the deal. We're going to continue this conversation. We're 40 minutes into the thing. Help us out. Smash the thumbs up. Share out the link. We're around 1,200 people. We got to get 300 more people in here. So pick up the phone, call your aunt, and say, hey, Boogie's going to give away 2 free shirts if we get to 1,500. I need you to sign on to all your accounts and jump on here. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Facebook. I promise you, if you guys become the street team, if you guys go to work, we'll get to 1,500 people. I know we can do it. Austin Bailey for 2 says GBO feed White and Sampson. They are unguardable. Ryan Brock for 2, 1K watching, 334 likes. That makes no sense. A lot of people on the internet don't like me, but you know what? I'm perfectly fine with that. I love what I do for a living. I love getting on here talking football with these dudes. All of you guys in the chat, we got a great community here. Let them hate. But you can smash the thumbs up. It is quick, free, and easy. I would appreciate it. T-Bird signed shot for 5. Communication was so much better tonight, especially on D. Neyland definitely plus 10, at least tonight. Best stadium in all of college football. So proud. JoJo for $10. Sampson equals beast mode.
The cheetah.
Man, he was electric on the little shovel passes. Like we've said in previous streams, get the ball to him in space. Angry Titan for 5. A little tip from a boy, X Factor. Revenge feels great. Oh, man. I ain't going to read that last part, but if you want to screen capture it and send it to him, Angry Titan, feel free to do so. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Coach Jay for 5. What's up, Coach? Hope you guys had a good time. See you tomorrow, brother. Can't wait to get together with you. Coach Jay remains undefeated at Neyland. Carter equals a stud. Joe is mentally slow, even though Cade helped. Hey, Coach. His name's Cooper, bro. His name's Cooper. For some reason, Coach Jay cannot get past Cade Mays. And also, we're undefeated when Dustin is on the show and not you, Coach. So be careful. Be careful, Coach Jay. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. Riggs for 2. Hey, it don't matter.
That's right.
They don't say one time. They just say Tennessee is undefeated when Dustin Sellers on the postgame show talking balls.
Okay.
That's a fact. Riggs for 2 if Josiah Jordan James is still here. Wait, what?
I think he was talking about when we were talking about Brew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about? Jeff Brooks been a member for almost a year. Appreciate that, brother. Mr. P for $2 says gifted 2 free memberships, Boogie. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, that doesn't pop into StreamYard yet. I'm glad they've got the member chats fixed, but I can't see that. I can only see it on my phone. You can gift memberships to people. That's greatly appreciated. Appreciate that, brothers. Chandler Matthews drops a 50 spot. Oh, we'll play the $1 Million Man.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Chandler Matthews for $50 says, great game by the defense, adequate game by the offense. We need to come to terms with the fact that we are a physical running team that plays solid defense, uses the pass as a compliment. Feel much better about the season at this point. GBO. Chandler spent $50. X kind of touched on this. Maybe the identity is a little different. Dustin, what do you think about that? That now the offense just needs to kind of be adequate, and let's rely on this defense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know if I would grade, the offense going from an A to a C, but it's definitely gone to a B minus or maybe a C plus. And I think the defense is maybe starting to get in that, C plus range too, to be, kind of complimentary. But I'd like to get y'all's feedback on the fact that Joe, we know that Joe, maybe doesn't compute as fast as what we're used to with Hendon. Or do you think that the coaching is making that decision to be a little less, or be more conservative because of that? Or do you think that that's more than he can handle? Because I just see so many formations when Hendon was rolling that we're not seeing right now at all. The going under center, the stuff with the tight ends to the left and to the right. I'm just not seeing as much of that. And maybe that's, serviceable for the approach that we're taking right now. And like I said, I think overall the team's gotten better as a whole in different areas. And other than a few plays on both sides of the ball, like if we can clean up those like busts on both sides, like a lot of potential. That's I had it written down that like we're a few plays away from getting back up there to the caliber I think we were playing last year.
Yeah, I mean, like the UTSA game, right? Those were a couple of busts, and like a lot of people think bust means a touchdown, but there were a couple of little things that if you clean up, UTSA is not scoring 14 points in that game. And then tonight, the 75-yard touchdown run, just a couple of people making mistakes. But JP, what do you think about the offense there? What Dustin had to say?
I think that the play calling a couple of times, especially there in the second quarter, I felt like that we got away from the run, and there was a few drives there that I felt like that we had the opportunity to really take control of that football game, and could have almost blew them out in the first half, but we just wanted to pass it, and we had a couple of those 3-and-out drives that that gave the ball back, and just fortunately, the defense stepped up tonight, and certainly a huge momentum play there right before halftime with Haddon to put us up 14.
Mhm. And I just
Yeah.
think, like I said, the one play call I think that we're going to have to get used to seeing is that bubble screen. I think, I think we're just going to have
Oh
to
yeah,
face the fact that we're just going to see that for the rest of the season because it was just so funny because everybody was talking about it at the table. I was just like, well, they say, well, we ran the bubble screen again. I was like, dude, we're going to run that all season. I was like, I think, and it don't get me wrong, it is a very efficient game plan to get you some yardage. I mean, I understand that, but you have to kind of careful when you just keep throwing that out because, like I said, if you got like a top elite team, like I said, for example, like Bama or Georgia, sniff that out, it's going to get picked off every single time. So yeah, we definitely, like what Dustin was saying, you got to see some kind of different formations and rotations in the offensive game plan. 'Cause we just keep going out to the side with that bubble screen. It's not going to work every time. So.
Did they
Yeah.
use it that much tonight? I'm just curious. Like I know
There
they
was-
used it. Like it's a squirrel. They used it a few times.
Mhm.
I just don't think it was as much tonight.
Well, I think there's a difference between the far perimeter throws where you got the pick on the outside with the two wide splits, and then there's a difference between what they're running tonight with a little bit more of a bubble screen coming kind of back inside to the slot. What was I going to say? The part where there was that's what I was going to say. The mix. I think the mix of the play calling, like we see it really right off the bat, and maybe at the end of the half, there's a really nice mix of run and pass. But then, those second, third, fourth series, it gets a little stale. It's either too much pass or too much run. And I don't know what the rhyme or reasoning is there, but like JP said, like got a little predictable at times. And right after Bruce's injury, I was like, okay, they're going to like be pumped up, but it was like they were kind of shell shocked, and it was just like bam, 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 3 and out, and we're on the sideline real quick.
Yeah.
How
And
much
if you
of that
know,
is scripted plays versus the natural flow of a game calling plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've got a script right out of the gate, and it's like they come out, they go fast, they know what they're going to do, versus once you get into the meat of the game, maybe the play calling changes a little bit. That was something. The Brew McCoy injury was something I had in my notes because it was how would this team respond to adversity, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about Joe's interception earlier, right? South Carolina's got, I think it was the 29-yard line. Rattler ends up scrambling in for a touchdown. But the next drive, man, Tennessee responds by taking a deep shot. And that was the throw to Squirrel where I have no idea how he caught it. And I also have no idea how that official left that yellow flag in his pocket. Because
Thank
that
you.
was
Yeah.
pass
I
interference.
was so
Either-
mad.
Just because he caught it, you still throw the flag. But they responded, man. Like,
Ugh.
Joe throws a pick. And how do you respond? Do you come out and go? Because I feel like they've been so scared to let Joe throw the football. And they come back after the interception, horrible decision, and say, hey, let's let Joe throw a deep shot. And Squirrel goes up and makes a play. And then later in the game, D comes back out with a 3-and-out. You got a big sack from Joshua Josephs. They fake a punt, right? And it's like, good. Like, everybody's going, really? We knew that this is what Shane Beamer was going to do. They fake the punt. They pick up a huge gain. They're down to the Tennessee 40. How are you going to respond? How are you going to respond when adversity hits? They screw you over with a fake punt. They dig in, they get a stop. South Carolina goes for it on 4th and 2. They try to get it to Leggett in the flat, and Wesley Walker makes a freaking play. And then Tennessee responds right back, going right down the field, 8 plays, 63 yards. They go, and they settle for a field goal, but they're up by a touchdown. I thought this team handled adversity tonight better than they have all year long.
Yes. Yeah, this
I
team
agree.
has definitely showed that they have fight in them. And honestly, that's what I was really hoping for in this game. It's like what you said, but when you're down with adversity, when adversity is high, like, how are you going to respond? And I think that this team fought, man. They fought until that clock said 0-0-0.
Yeah, and I'll daisy chain off of what Boogie said. Like there was plenty of times in the opportunity where I think even some of your conservative coaches out there would have tried to throw a deep bomb whenever we get a big stop or there's a changeover or a timeout or whatever. There's plenty of opportunities where we're not taking those shots. I don't know how you felt, JP, but like just that's sometimes where if there's a turnover or if there's a pause or an injury or something, those are the times that most coaches kind of like draw something up. But I haven't seen a lot of that this year, especially.
No, you're right on that. I mean, it's definitely a different offense. There's no doubt about it. I mean, whether that, and obviously it's the comfort level with Milton and the understanding of the offense, or him being able to process it, whatever. And again, I mean, he's not Hooker, so we might as well just move on from that. But what is it that he can continue to do to try to get better? Because I think that if he could play somewhat better, I think that this team still has a great chance to have a really really solid season. But any way that you slice it, you can't be throwing picks. You can't be turning the football over. So and I know that coming into the season he'd only had one, I guess, since he'd been at Tennessee, one turnover. Now now he's got three picks in last three games, I guess, total. He had the one in Florida game and two tonight. But with that, but yeah, I mean it's that's why that I was saying I felt like that we should have relied more on the run game there in the second quarter when the defense had, because like Bookie said, the interception down there in the first quarter. I mean, that's what got us down. But the defense kept standing up and holding them and all that, and we had opportunities up 14-10 to pile it on, and we just didn't do it. So again, that's the things that that you would like to see them take more advantage of in those situations to put these games away, and because that's what that we've been used to seeing the last couple of years,
Right.
especially last year, that they would just jump on these teams and they next thing you know it'd be 35-10
Yeah.
with that. But
That's what I kept thinking all night is they never put them away. They won by 3 touchdowns, but they never put them away. I kept saying, all right, put them away, put them away, put them away. Me and Dustin were joking right before we went live saying, yeah, we were up. And the whole time I'm going, dang it, I don't feel confident. I was waiting for that freaking slit their throat, put them to bed, and finish this thing off. But something worth noting, JP, with what you're talking about, when they should have gone to the run game in that second quarter, because I'm looking at my notes here from the charted, the drive charts. And when Tennessee responded and they went down the field and they kicked that field goal, and then they came back, and 1st and 10, the slant to McCoy, and that's when he broke his leg. And you could see the look on Joe's face, right? He like it impacted him, and it should impact you, man. Your brother's laying there like, he's done, like he's done for the year, and man, it's tough. It's tough. It's not like. This is such a dumb comparison, but like to war, right? Your buddy goes down beside you. You still got a job to do, and this is a game, and it's no. I'm not trying to say football's like war, but what I'm saying is your brother just went down. You got to somehow figure out how to get that off your mind and go play football. But then they come back, they run the football. Milton stands in the pocket too long on 2nd down and 6 and gets sacked. That was on him, not the offensive line. He stood there forever.
Oh yeah.
Third and 12. You got a swing pass to right, and Milton completely airmails it. So how much of that is Joe's – he can't get settled down after the injury to Brew. They come back the very next drive. 1st and 10, throw gets batted down. They go quick to the outside. X's favorite play for 4 yards. They got a 3rd and 6, slant to McAllen Castles. Joe questions, pumps, waits. He finally lets it loose, and the defender's all over it. It was a late throw. That's 2 series. How much of that was Joe's trying to respond, right? He's trying to get over what he just saw from Brew McCoy. But that's the constant theme with Joe, right? It's always something. It's the knee injury. It's watching your buddy go down, right? It's always something.
But I mean, you would just think just seeing something like that would make you better. And honestly, let's just be honest. I think this team, like you said, Book, earlier, this team got them fired up. And honestly, for me, it would fire me up if I saw my brother, laying down with an injury. I'm going to go out there and give it my all. And I'm going to go out there and beat this team. Like you said, just put them away. Because at one point, when South Carolina scored again, it was like a 2-possession game. And I'm just like, guys, what are we doing? Like,
put it away.
You're letting them crawl back into this game. because
Yeah.
you know how dangerous Spencer Rattler can be. And I'm just like, guys, you cannot do that. And let
Yeah.
alone let us have us like Bama or somebody else. Like, bro, you just can't let teams like that get second or third opportunities.
Yeah, no doubt. I guarantee you that was a talking point at halftime about Brew doing it for Brew.
Yep.
But it's this whole team, this whole offense is such a momentum based thing. I would love to know if there's a stat out there of once we get that first or second first down, how many times we score versus when we don't. I mean, that sounds silly, but you know what I'm saying? Like if you get that first down, it's like, okay,
momentum,
we're good, you know,
Momentum.
exactly. And I don't care if it's, you know, a penalty, and I did have in my notes like we were pretty darn penalty free tonight, which is huge. Other than I think maybe one face mask or a hold here and there, but in general, like whether it's an injury or a timeout or whatever, there's so many little things that, you know, it's like, well, if we're not going fast, and I think that was what your talking point was, Boogie, like when that momentum is kind of stagnant, it gives them, I don't know, it's like almost gets like in their head too much where it gets a little stale and kind of predictable. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but it just kind of feels that way. It's like it's all or nothing, right? We have to go 100 miles an hour, or it's kind of like just stalls out.
Even like when there was like 8 minutes left in the game, and I can't remember if Tennessee was up 14, 17, whatever it was, and it's like, all right, are they going to continue to milk the clock? And they came out. Those first couple of plays, they're going quick, and I'm like, all right, this is cutthroat. This is, I'm not going to try to survive. I'm going to try to put you away. They picked up a couple of first downs, and it's like, okay, let's slow down. Let's slow down. And I'm like, what are we doing? Get that. Like, that is your identity. Going quick is your identity. And I understand, man. Like, I defended Heupel last year in that Florida game when Florida tried to creep back in. I'm like, well, you clearly run the clock there. I don't know that works for this offense. We got a bunch of super chats. Let me jam some. We'll continue this live stream. Everybody's going to bed, but we still have 1,000 people watching live. We appreciate you guys choosing us. Hit the like button. Share it out. We would greatly appreciate it. Justin Denton for 5 says Joe has the potential, and with potential, as long as he wears orange, by God, I will believe in him. You know, I saw somebody say Boogie has his nose so far up Nico's butt, it's not even funny. Do you know how many times I got criticized for my love of Joe Milton? And I still love Joe. I don't think anybody on this planet wants Joe to succeed more than I do, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. I say what I see, and that's it. If people can like it, they can hate it. I'm just going to stay true to what I believe and that's what I tell these guys. Don't ever come on here and sugarcoat anything or say what you think I want to hear or the chat wants to hear. Give your opinion. Brett for 2, nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate that. Biggest 950 becomes a member of the channel. Thank you for that support. We appreciate it. Alex Short for 5. About to see a whole lot of Dante Thornton going forward. He's the next Hyatt. I hope he's back next week. I don't know how bad his injury was.
What they say is wrong with him?
I don't know, but he didn't look like he was limping around. He was bouncing around on the sideline. So hopefully he's back this week. Donovan for 5. Carolina Crackpot. Shane Beamer's little teapot. Vols by Fitty. Hashtag Boogie greater than Crackpot.
Is he the most annoying coach in the SEC, in y'all's opinion? To me,
he's
him
a dork. I made a video on him, and I just said he's just a dork. Like, he's just a dork. Like, he seems like an insecure dork. Like,
him
that's
or
such a stupid
Drinkwitz,
word.
I don't know.
They're probably best friends, man.
Yeah.
They probably sit in the library together and read books while
He
everybody
wears
else
me
makes
out. He absolutely wears me out.
Like,
That's what I was like. I was like, for this game, I was like, Heupel, do not lose to this guy 2 years in a row. You can't do it, man. You can't do it.
Like, Heupel's an alpha, right? He's an alpha. He's comfortable in his skin, says what he thinks. He's confident. And Shane Beamer is the complete opposite. Drinkwitz is the complete opposite.
He just looks like a Butch Jones for South Carolina, in my honest opinion.
Yeah,
it's like Boogie Bentley and Carolina Jackpot. One's an alpha, and one is not comfortable in his own skin. And when they talk face to face, one of them looks down like this. And then when the alpha leaves the room, the other guy makes a video making fun of him while that dude's making tons of money and that guy's screaming and yelling into a microphone. That's what I would compare it to. I would say I'm the Josh Heupel, and Carolina Crackpot is the Shane Beamer. He's insecure. I get it.
Yeah, there's no telling what he's talking about in his press conference right now.
Oh, my gosh. Probably something about a 63 effort. Vols Lover for 5. Joe is Joe. Have faith in the backfield and Coach H. We are still better than any Pruitt team. we got spoiled last year, but we want to see this team continue to build and get better. Solid foundations for 5. Boogie, you think Crackpot stops being a fan again? See, this is man, everybody wants to talk about him. It's like the funniest thing that was sent to me was that, and JP can laugh at this because JP knows me in real life, that I was a trust fund baby and was gifted money, and that's the only reason I made it on YouTube, because I never had to work a real job. Did you know that, JP? Did you know that I never worked a real job?
I didn't know that, Boogie. I didn't know that.
I didn't either, man. I just found out today. I didn't know that I worked for corporate
Who said
America.
that?
Huh?
Who said that?
Carolina Jackpot. I buried the hatchet with him this week on a live stream, and then he made a video making fun of me today. But the whole time he was face-to-face with me, he was looking at the ground and didn't have the nuts to actually tell me what he thought. He waited till I was off stream and then made a video. That's what weak people do. But I'm not here to be that guy. I'm not a trash talker. I'm here to build a community with you guys. You guys are my focal point. And look, I'm cutting out the outside noise. All these outside YouTubers and people that, Boogie, can I stream with you? Can I come on? No, not anymore. Not anymore. I'm focused on the family. Guys like Dustin, guys like Coach Jay, guys like the X Factor that come on through this community. And then, of course, like, you want to talk bad about JP and Dauber and dudes that I know in real life, good luck. Good luck. Let me know how that works out for you, because we're a family, and I'm focused on the family. The outside noise, y'all keep talking. Y'all keep talking, and we're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep taking over Tennessee YouTube, because this is the place to be if you're a Tennessee football fan, and everybody freaking knows it, and they can't stand it. Brett for 5, haven't seen any single wing with the tight end in the red zone this year. That gave defenses fits, like Fant against Bama. Really like the versatility. I wish McAllen Castles could be that guy. Man, he had a screenplay set up to him beautifully.
And he dropped it.
Dropped the football. He is so talented and so frustrating at the same time.
He had 2 drops tonight that were kind of, I wouldn't say crucial, but
and one where he fell down.
One
he just fell down and had all the green grass in front of him you could possibly want. Joey for 10, it would be awesome if 100,000 ball fans showed up at every game, even if we all didn't get seats. We'd kick in their front door. It's great to be a Vol. Thank you, Joey, for that. I love the aggression. Oh, wait a second. What happened? How did I get – okay, I got way down the list. Let me go back up. Voice for radio for 5. I feel like Hendon being there helped keep Joe out of his own head. I like seeing that.
Maybe.
And I kind of thought about that too. Like the brotherhood was cool. Donald Coakley for 20. Go Vols was a good game. That's an Orange Boy, and I love Orange Boys, and I'll play the clip.
Rocky Top! You'll always be.
Appreciate that $20, Donald. That is not cheap. That's a lot of money. I'm grateful for your support. Kevin Meadows for 2. Hurts to say this, but Joe is not the guy. I think he's the guy till he's not. I told you guys, if Tennessee lost tonight and Joe was horrible, I'm going all in on the Nico train. But until Joe benches himself, Joe's going to be the guy.
And the crazy thing is, just stats-wise, he's not playing bad football other than besides the 3 interceptions that he has.
Yeah. But the two picks tonight, if your defense wasn't bailing you out, that could cost you a football game. That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Well, we talked about that a little bit already, like just the busts in general, whether it's offense or defense. Like, better teams will take advantage of that and beat you for it. But I don't know how you feel about this, JP, but like, how many times in quarterback history in Tennessee have we seen this lately where it's like, okay, get the starter out of there, but the backups, completely unproven. So to me, it's like, I'm excited about Nico, but to me, that's almost a little bit like throwing in the towel. It feels like I think with given time, grooming him properly and getting him the full playbook of some of the stuff that the other Super Chat just mentioned, some of those other formations really throws the wrench into other teams' defense. And it's kind of like we ride or die with Nico. With Joe right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we talked about it on here Wednesday night. I don't think that unless, Tennessee just ends up bombing and they, lose against Texas A&M, Bama, and Kentucky, something like that. That's Milton is going to be the quarterback. It's just plain and simple, and us fans might as well just get over that and hope that he continues to improve and help this football team win. And that's all that that's all that we can do as fans. And I mean, he certainly has the physical ability to do it. And I feel like that's part of the reason that the offense looks different is because Heupel is having to do different things with him with that. And I know everybody's screaming Nico, 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 but nobody has no idea how Nico would do in a football game. I mean, no idea. And I've been saying this for a year. Whenever that Nico gets his opportunity, you can only imagine the pressure that is going to be on that fella. I mean, can only imagine, because every time that he makes a bad play, these fans are going to be throwing up, yeah, we paid him $8 million to throw a pick, or we threw him $8 million because he took a sack. I mean, it's going to be over and over and over. So, I mean, and obviously, this whole offensive line, certainly tonight, it was much better. Who knows if that was. I do think part of it was because Cooper was back and that they was able to move Ollie Lane to left guard. But who also knows? I think that it's certainly going to be a much bigger challenge in 2 weeks when Texas A&M comes rolling in, because they got some guys on that front seven that can pressure the quarterback, and Tennessee's going to have to bring that intensity to be able to control that line of scrimmage.
And even Texas A&M's not Georgia. They're not Alabama.
No.
That's the goal. That's the goal, is to be able to block Georgia and Alabama, not South Carolina. South Carolina's defensive line is not very good.
No,
weren't they down towards the bottom of the SEC in sacks? I'm pretty sure. Sure.
But just real quick, even going back to Nico, I understand, at the end of the game, we secured the lead and, the dub was handed it to us. But you still don't want to throw Nico out there, especially after all the injuries that you've seen that happen on the field, like with Brew and everybody else. You don't want to risk Nico out there getting hurt either. So I really thought that was, smart play call when Josh Heupel and the coaching staff, they're like, look, I know we all want to see him at least throw the ball like a series here or there, but no, just have your ones out there, finish this thing off, take a knee, and just get out of there injury-free.
Yeah, tonight I'm not looking for Nico tonight. But
no.
my counter argument to the Nico noise, and nobody knows. JP hit the nail on the head. We've all said it. I get sick of the Nico's not ready. Well, how do you know? Are you at practice? Are you sitting beside Josh Heupel? Obviously, Josh Heupel gets paid millions of dollars to make the decision, and I don't think he's going to trot Joe out there if he thinks Nico's better, right? And Joe's still not shown me anything that says he needs to be benched yet. I get on here and joke in full transparency that I'm ready to go all in as a content creator on bench Joe and play Nico. But Joe is not giving me the evidence to say that he deserves to be benched. So I'm going to keep staying true to who I am and saying Joe is who he is, and we'll keep rolling with it. But it's like we have a – gosh, I'm going to kiss Coach Jay's ass right now. I kiss his ass all the time, and everybody knows it. We got a dude that's been in and around the Nico camp, right? He knows the family. He knows Nico's head coach. He knows the type of guy Nico is. And I know there's a big difference between high school football and SEC football, but he also knows the personality, the type of kid he is, the type of player he is. Nico's not going to get frustrated by the outside noise. He's not going to get frustrated by people saying, oh, we're paying him $8 million. Nico, he's that dude, man. And y'all can say I'm got my nose up Nico's butt. That's fine. I don't freaking care, because I truly believe we got somebody special. But ideally, I want Joe to continue to succeed, and let's go win 9 games. Why not 10 games, right? Let's go. But nine wins is the goal for me. And then let's focus on 2024. But let me continue to jam super chats while you guys can think about that. Why Boogie is obsessed with Nico. It's because we got a guy that coaches football on the West Coast that's been around Nico that is telling me how good Nico is, and that's why I get excited about Nico. I don't want to see Nico till 2024. Don't get it twisted. Fish and beans for $20. Nothing to say. Just says Boogie, play the clip.
Rocky Top! You'll always be.
Appreciate that, Fish and Beans. Thank you for the Orange Boy, brother. Kerry Ingram becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Kerry. You guys can do the same. Hit the join button down below. $1. You got $1. You're still here. We've been live for an hour and 10 minutes. It's 12:30. It is in the middle of the night. JP is dying to go to bed, and you guys keep dropping super chats and joining the channel. If you like the content so much to be up this late, hit the join button and say, hey, I'm going to give you guys $1 a month. I would greatly appreciate it. There is strength in numbers. Hey, we hit 23,000 subscribers earlier today. So shout out to you guys for being on this journey with us. Dirty Dodge for $2 says not talking trash, but boiling hot dogs is great. No. Does anybody boil their hot dogs? Like it reminds me of my grandma. It's like the old. JP, do you remember going to tailgates? This super chats get me sidetracked. To go into tailgates with Snake, and he was such a tightwad, right? And he's like, boys, break out your receipts. And it's like, you don't want to see this because me and JP spent $400 and you spent $12. And we're like, JP's bringing cookies and brownies and like this huge spread, and I'm like making homemade chicken wings and spending all this money. And Snake,
I'd be counting out change to Snake. Here's my $3.36.
Oh, he was such a top one, and I almost said his real name just now. And his responsibility was to get the hot dogs, and he brings out those pink hot dogs that are like 99 cents. And it's like, bro, you really want receipts when you spent 99 cents on pink hot dogs? And JP's got like a full-on buffet? Oh, God loves Snake. I love Snake, but gosh, that's the first thing I thought of with boiling your hot dogs. Trav for $20 says Dorf.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Man, my face hurts from laughing at Snake right now. Seth Joseph for $5. What's up, brother? Winner, chicken dinner, 12 straight in Neyland. There you go. There's the answer. 12 straight. Why not play Nico in the fourth when we were up 3 scores? Get healthy and ready for the Aggies GBO. Coach Rice. I remember somebody by the name of Coach Rice telling me about Squirrel White, but we'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
You have so many coaches in this community. Coach Jay coaches defense. Coach Rice, offensive coordinator. We got a special teams coach in the live streams. I love you guys, man. You guys are an asset to this community. Says, told y'all Squirrel would be key tonight. First 4 plays, he touched the ball. Defense was nasty. Joe played good. 2 interceptions, only 1 bad decision. 21 skunk. Beamer, sorry, ass. That O-line with those 5 makes this team different, GBO. Appreciate that super chat, brother. Let me just educate you like I told you earlier. When you slip your way, when you find a little stat, pretend that it's your own. Don't give somebody else credit. Just pretend that you came up with that stat. But shout out to Coach Rice, man. You're an asset to this community. Appreciate your support. Negavola for 2 says, did you watch the Rocky halftime show, Boogie? I didn't get to see the halftime show. I was listening to A to Z Sports, but love me some Rocky Balboa. Seth Tunnel and Shannon DeCannon become members of the channel. I'm pretty sure Shannon just upgraded because I know he's been a member for quite some time. Zach Furr also becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that, Zach. Terry Matthews for 5. Thank you for providing a space for this community to I'm just a dumb hick from East Tennessee. Is that a word? Is
Coalesce.
Is that a word? Because I made fun of somebody for using the word usurp. And I was like, really? And then they were like, well, that's actually a word. Look it up. And it was a word, but I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, it's fun being part of this. Good to see a full, solid 4 quarters. Thank you, Terry Matthews, for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Corey Smith for 10. How about that, Spencer Rattler? Man, a member of this community almost got attacked by a rattlesnake today and then murdered it and then cooked it on his grill and said that's what's happening to Rattler tonight.
I actually went back to Twitter and I saw that and I said I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is the greatest thing.
Different level of alpha male that a rattlesnake tries to bite you while you're hunting, you kill it, and then 7 hours later you tweet me and show me that it's on your grill. That's alpha male level that I don't have. Set for $20. Never knowing we all love the Vols, and I'm a big Pat fan. Play the clip. Love Pat McAfee.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Gosh, it never gets old. I love me some Pat McAfee. Shannon DeCannon for $50. That is not cheap. We will play the other clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Shannon drops a 50 spot, says, don't ask. First, my prayers for Bruce. Second, woo. Lastly, overall chicken and dumplings are great with big orange hot sauce. Get healthy in the future is still bright. Shannon DeCannon's always worried about whether you elect to receive or you defer to the second half. Tennessee They South Carolina won the toss. They elected to receive. What a great start, too, right? Tennessee comes out. They get
Perfect.
the stop. They go right down the field, 9 plays, 94 yards, 3 minutes, 2 seconds. They get the touchdown. And then they won the middle 8, too, right? I mean, I thought that was key. I think the middle 8 is such an important part of the football game because South Carolina did receive, and you got the 3 and out. And then you go down the field. Less than a minute to go at the half. Tennessee up 7. South Carolina's got a 3rd and long. And who makes the play? James Pierce comes off the edge, brings pressure, and that's when the Kamal Hadden interception happened. And like everybody that's praising Kamal Hadden, which I love that play, he was in the right place at the right time. It was gifted. And Tennessee's up 24-10 going into the half. And then you come out right out of the gate, 9 plays to start the second half. They went right on the ground. Middle 8 was huge. JP, how much value do you put on the middle 8? I think it's a huge factor in college football.
Oh yeah, definitely so. I mean, you can get the momentum going into halftime, and then come out, and that's what Tennessee did to start the third quarter. They had a great drive, and punched it in there, and was like, okay, we're on our way, and then boom, very first play, that's when they broke off the 75-yard touchdown run. But yeah, I mean, it's super, super important, I feel like. Definitely so.
Let me continue to hit some super chats here. Fido for 5, maybe a dumb question. Is there a reason coaches don't go to the field when their players are down? Might be a Coach J question. Well, they do go to the field on extra points. I mean, those guys that are blocking on extra points. But old Robert JP sent me a text and goes, man, they're getting really banged up tonight. I was like, you do realize that they fake injuries on every extra point, right? He was
Every extra point, right.
He was
Is
like,
that what's going on for real?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I was telling my buddies, it's like we're the most injured team in the world the last 2 seasons. Like every time we kick an extra point, there's somebody else down.
Especially you notice after the Haddon
Is it just for more time? Is it just for more time? Okay.
And look at Haddon's pick
Give the
six,
defense time to rest because
they're letting that
Okay.
defense rest. Or when the
I had
offense
no
goes
clue.
quick, that's happening every
That
single
that makes way more sense. Okay.
Yeah, so when Ole Miss fans come at us and say, or we make fun of them, we're faking injuries every single extra point. That is happening. Austin Byers for $20. That's an Orange Boy. We'll play. Oh my gosh, I got lost. I scrolled down too far. I've almost lost it. Where is it? There's the clip. We'll play it.
Rocky Top! You'll always be.
Did y'all see South Carolina magically gain a yard when they were backed up on the goal line? First down, they lost a yard. Ball was placed on the 1-yard line. Second down, threw the ball away. Then instead of 3rd and 11, it was 3rd and 10. Ball was at the 2. Man, South Carolina got lucky right there. And again, Joe Milton throws the pick, but it's kind of like you don't want to turn the ball over in the red zone, but at the same time, it's like they've got the ball on the 2, and Tim Banks got aggressive. Came with the star blitz, and then they almost got Spencer Rattler on second down. And there was a lot of mojo where Spencer Rattler just got lucky. But bottom line is Tennessee got it done. Doesn't matter. JoJo for 10. Go Big Orange. South Carolina fans, keep sending your $10 envelopes to Pastor Beamer. Oh, wow, that's a great one. P.S. Duke is still a basketball school. Thank you for the $10. Isaac and Brent for 10. Going to miss Brew. Praying for him. But good win, GBO. X mentioned something earlier about NIL with Brew and why it's good because he got hurt. Everybody go buy a Brew McCoy jersey. I may drive myself up to Alumni Hall tomorrow. And I don't really like I like the T-shirt jerseys for baseball because they look clean. I don't like them for football. I would almost rather just be like X and just wear the jersey because it looks better. Like the T-shirt jerseys just have the T and the number and it looks kind of silly. I may drive myself up to Alumni Hall tomorrow and buy a Brew McCoy jersey. Why not put some money in that guy's pocket, right? He's done for the year. Let's go support him. Let's go pick up some Brew McCoy merch and put some money in his pocket. I think that would show him what Vol Nation can do. Dylan for 2. Seems like Castles has a drop or two a game, to be honest. It's so frustrating because he's so good. Knoxville Predator catcher for 50. That's a big old pink boy. We will play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Knoxville Predator catcher says South Carolina last field goal won me $1,000 tonight off of a holy smokes, off of a You bet $10 and won $1,000, and the least you can give us is 50. That's all. All you got's a pink boy. You can't even drop a red boy when you want $1,000 on 10. He says prayers for Brew. We played 4 whole quarters tonight. Makes our offense click. Let's get guys ready to beat A&M GBO. I think, just coming off the bye week, man, and a little momentum, 4-1. Man, now, we always move a step forward. Texas A&M, biggest game on the schedule. Thank you, Knoxville Predator Catcher. And congratulations, brother. Timmy G drops a 50 spot. We'll do it again.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Appreciate that $50, brother. Great night on both sides of the ball. Having Cooper back was huge for the O-line, and Pierce played lights out. We still got some super chats to jam through, but let's talk about James Pierce, because isn't it kind of funny that when James Pierce and Joshua Josephs were signed to Tennessee, JP, you're a big recruiting guru, so I'll throw this to you. James Pierce was the guy that we were more excited about. And then last year's freshman, it was Joshua Josephs that kind of dominated. But now we've seen James Pierce. I don't know if it was questions about learning how to be a college football player, a college student, and how to put all that together. We're seeing his full potential now. What do you think about Pierce? And Joseph's still playing some good football too, but kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Pierce has got the physical ability to do it for sure, and it sounds like maybe that I mean he came in last year and just young and probably just how to learn how to prepare and obviously a year in the strength conditioning program has helped him, but man, he's quick. I mean, he is quick for sure. And got some size to him, tall and he's going to be a force for sure. I think that he's going to have a strong, second half to this year. And, I think next year he's going to be a beast for us as well. I think that Joseph, he got in there. He almost had Rattler on that one, and then he got hurt there with that. But that's what we've got to have, though. It makes all the difference in the world being able to get pressure like that on the quarterback.
And then, also, JP, do you think that he should have just wrapped up better? Because I think it looked like he was trying to go for the strip. But I was just just wrap him up. Yeah. Just wrap him up, man. I understand you trying to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, he kind of brought his hand over like he was going to try to bring his arm over and probably try to strip the ball from.
But how many times do we see that exact drill in VolQuest,
in the videos all the time?
Yeah, what those guys post, we see that drill all the time. So,
yeah, and that killed us against Florida. There was several of those plays that, whether it was running back or quarterback, we were in the backfield almost ready to make the play, but then somebody gets on the edge and outruns us, and then we're chasing people. But to JP's point, I think that's what we're seeing is, we lost so much in the offensive line, while on the other side of the ball, the defense has gained some depth and had some development going on there and a little bit more cohesion across the board, and it's starting to show.
What is
we
that?
just need those guys to play with that type of intensity, consistent, because I mean, all those guys. I mean, Eason was back there,
he's played good the last couple of weeks,
making some plays. Amari Thomas, Simmons was in there early. I don't know how much that he played in the second half, but he was in there in the first quarter, and he was getting pressure and making Rattler try to scramble and so forth like that. So getting him back will be huge, especially for the run defense for sure.
What do you think about what Dustin's saying? Like the way that we've kind of rebuilt the roster, a lot of edge rushers, and a lot of misses on the offensive line. But now you look at the class of 24, that they've killed the offensive line. And if you find a way to get Jordan Seaton in the boat, who just so happened to be in town this weekend, that's huge. And that was unofficial, right? So he's still looking to take an official and come back again. You get Jordan Seaton and you put him beside Bennett Warren, and you've got two legitimate dudes on the outside, right? You got two legitimate bookends. You've landed two legitimate guys on the inside as well, two highly rated 4-star prospects. They've done a great job, JP, in the class of 24 with the offensive line. Do you think it's the way they're spending money? I know everybody thinks recruiting's always NIL. There's a little bit of truth there. But they've struggled on the offensive line until this current cycle. They're going to have to hit the portal. I know this is what I do to you guys. I throw 14 different talking points at you, and then I make you unpack them all. But it's been very defensive line heavy, and now we're seeing some success in 24 on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that they are looking to spend some NIL money on some linemen, because that is the biggest deficiency that it seems to be when it comes to the recruiting the first 3 years, for sure, with that. And it's unfortunate that some of the other guys just haven't developed either. So there's just not a whole lot there. It's going to be definitely interesting after this season to see what they can possibly do in the portal when it comes to the offensive line.
And definitely, like saying with Cooper Mays, I'm pretty sure he's going to go off to the league too. Like saying that center position, we've always preached to talk about it. It's a very, very important piece of this offense. Yeah, you definitely need to hit the portal hard for center position. Because don't get me wrong, you don't want a freshman coming in and, like I said, man, yeah, you want to get them in, learn the system, learn the tempo, but you got to have that SEC just physicality type of player to replace for Mays. So
I'm curious to see what Addison Nichols does. He got a lot of run at center during fall camp. Can he step in at center? Can Sham come on going into his sophomore year? Other than that, man, you're losing a lot of. You're going to have some success in the portal. Let me hit some more super chats here. Trey for $20. That is not cheap. That's an Orange Boy. You guys drop Orange Boys. I know what you guys want to hear, even though it's almost 1 in the morning. We'll play the clip. Let's do it.
Rocky Top!
Says, missed an opportunity to get Nico meaningful reps with the first team. Game was put away in the fourth. That's how you know the coaches know he's a gamer with Nico. He doesn't need this little bit of action to perform. Shout out to Covington, Tennessee. Wow. Y'all just going to keep on going at Carolina Jackpot. Yeah, I'm going to drive down to Covington and have a fist fight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm 42 years old, got a wife and kids, got a great career, love my job, love my life, got a Jeep that I love to take the doors off of and drive around. Got a lot of things. I like to play some golf, but I'm going to go fist fight a grown man. That's what I'm going to do this week because I don't have anything better to do. Timothy McGee for 5. I think if our coaches trusted Nico, would have been out there with 3 minutes until the game was over. I don't know, man. I don't know. Noah Cockrell for –
just to hand the ball off.
Yeah. There was no point to play Nico in this game, I don't think. I think we can keep the ship together. This could be an outstanding year. Alabama has never been more vulnerable, and Georgia has a chink in the armor. Culberson for 2. Think about the quarterback sandwich Joe is in. Hendon Nico. Yeah, it is brutal. It is brutal. I almost feel sorry for Joe. Gibby the Great for 5. I understand that the interceptions weren't good, but Joe isn't playing bad, right? He's right in the middle, right? Mediocre. We had amazing quarterback play last year. We got a 5-star generational talent on the bench. That's what's stirring up this Hornets nest. Thank you for the $5, though. Appreciate the super chat. Timothy for 5. Hey, question. Is Nico the type of guy that would transfer? Why are you asking JP? Why are you asking JP? Answer that, JP, and you better say no or I'm going to kick you off the stream. You may like that because I know you'll go to bed.
Yeah. Who honestly knows? I mean, obviously, if he really got the NIL money, what's the requirements there with all of that? But,
he's not transferring.
I mean, here's the deal. if he gets the job and he doesn't do well, or they bring somebody else in, and that guy's better, then there's always, in this day and age of college football, there's always an opportunity for somebody to transfer. So
If he transfers, he's not getting paid. Like
Yeah,
that's
so,
got to
you
be
know,
in the contract. So
I don't see it happening, but again, I mean, who knows?
Trey for 2 says full disclosure, I'm from Texas. Thank you, Trey, for the super chat. Roller season for 5. Wait, Cole S. Come together to form. Okay, yeah. See, I knew you guys would know words that I don't know. Come together to form one mass or whole. LOL. The cult, Boogie. The cult. We are a cult. I was told that cults are evil, and I'm evil, and you guys should cut my head off and move on and go watch other people. You should go listen to other people cuss and carry on and rant and rave. Don't come here and talk football. Go talk trash. That's what they want to do. Crawdad Watson for 2. Something Wong with Shane Beamer's Medulla Oblongata.
That's terrible.
This community is absolutely insane. Andrew Short for 2. BS. That was intentional grounding, safety. GBO, yeah, come on, man. We should have got home, though. Should have got home.
Yeah.
Stephen McGuire becomes a member of the channel. Appreciate that. You guys, we still got 750 people watching. You want to be a part of that, hit the join button down below. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Added some new ones tonight. Go check them out. We got Dark Mode. We got a Checker Neeland. Go check those out. Appreciate you, all you members. Coach Rice for another 10. Can't wait to break down the rewatch, the O-line, tight ends, and running backs. Bullied South Carolina on the line of scrimmage. Trap and tackle, Rap absolutely killed South Carolina. I wish they ran power read with Milton, getting him going downhill. I think that was part of Milton, though. I think they didn't want to run him because of the injury. I think that was very obvious early that they were not going to run Milton. But, Coach Rice, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow on the fan call-in show. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we will do a fan call-in show. You guys will have an opportunity to come on. I'm going to make a day after video. I don't know what time it'll be because it's almost 1 o'clock now. I'm going to sleep. I told my wife I'm sleeping tonight. Get rid of dogs, get rid of kids, all that good stuff because I'm sleeping tonight. But I'll get up and make a day after video. Then I'm going to go down to Knoxville, hang out with Coach Jay tomorrow morning, and then I will come back for the fan call-in show. So that's going to be at 7 o'clock. Make sure you guys tune into that. You got to be a member of the channel, and then you have an